Uh, Good evening, everyone. I hope you are hearing me.
Yes, we can.
You can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'm so glad to have this opportunity to share with you tonight. And for those who are seeing me for the very first time, let me introduce myself. My name is Miriam Kanakulya, and I'm an agriculturist by training, a social worker by employment, and a businesswoman by interest. I came to know about this opportunity, which I'm going to share with you, way back in 1996, when my husband went to South Africa to visit a friend, and he was taken to a meeting which was 200 kilometers away. And that is where he actually sat on the floor and listened to the opportunity and came back home and told me, Miriam, I have found an opportunity which is going to take us out of poverty. And you know, we had tried so many things, because when I started working in 1983 after graduation, my salary was so small that half of it could just buy a pair of shoes. But then I said, I think when I get married, I'll get married to a rich man. So I got a banker, and I realized that he was also getting a salary just like me. So we said, let us try out some businesses. And we tried several businesses. We started with chicken rearing. We bought 600 birds and 350 of them died. We remained with 250. We made a loss. We had a loan in the bank. Then we said, why don't we try something else? We went to the village and we cultivated a banana plantation, 5 acres. Every weekend we would go there. And when it came to harvest, our cash flows could not comprehend. We made a loss because people on the market were giving us very little money. Then we bought matatus. For those in East Africa, you know what a matatu is. We made so much money for the drivers, we lost money. We bought fuel tankers, we lost money until this opportunity came. And when he came back home, he told me that I found an opportunity which is going to take us out of poverty. But you know, it was too good to be true, because we had tried everything. We had done so many businesses. Some of them I haven't even told you about them. But you see, from then, I remember very well that one person you are going to hear on this call came the following weekend, and they invited us for a meeting in Hotel Equatorio. And that is where my eyes were opened, because I saw people, friends, relatives, you know, they were coming into the hall, and I was wondering, what were they doing there? They told me that you just sit and listen. I did not understand anything, but the language I had was when they called people onto the stage to come and receive checks. I came nearer to wait if my name would be read, but of course I had done no work, and to my disappointment, it was not read. And so I said, I'm not going to ask any stupid question. All I want to know is, what must I do to make that money? So they told me to invite people, and that's what exactly I did. And 4 months later, because we started in June 1996, by October 1996, we were already at a level of a director in South Africa to listen to attend a meeting, a conference, which was so big with 7,000 people. And the guest speaker was called Miles Munroe. And to me, that was something which was like a dream. So when I came back to Uganda, what I saw in South Africa made me believe. And I was told that you can do it part-time. You can do it part-time. You can you can do it any time when you want to, because even when you are employed, because I was employed, you can still do the business. So I want to share with you what I'm talking about, and allow me to share my screen with you. Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay, so I would like to show you what this is all about. It starts with a dream, because many times people tend to want to do things, but they never get started. And as a result, they end up not knowing where to go. So in our business, what we do, we start with dreams, because many people out there have several dreams. You might be wanting to earn extra income, just like I wanted to earn an extra income, because we tried several other businesses apart from our work, but it never worked. And then the other thing is, some people want to be their own boss, because when you are working for a boss, they are the ones who determine how much to pay you, and which hours to work, and how much work you do. But here, you might be wanting to reach that level. And then you might be wanting good health, because there are many people out there who have a lot of money, but they're not healthy. Then there are so many other things. You might want to buy a car. Other people want to travel. The choice is yours. So this is where we start. However, the challenge we have is that sometimes we've tried several businesses, just like we did. And you find that there are so many challenges, and one of them could be high rent. People rent premises, and they end up paying all their money. All their profit goes to rent. And then you'll find that you need capital, a lot of money. You need a lot of money to start a business. For example, if you are going to start a shop, a hardware shop, you need a lot of dollars to start, which most of us do not have. And then you need to pay, you might find that you need to pay salaries, because whenever you start something, you might have to hire people out, and then you have to pay them, which becomes a big challenge. And then there's the taxman on the floor. That one can come anytime and say, you need to pay your taxes. Then the other thing is, sometimes the businesses which we do are risky. For example, you can grow some crops and then they catch fire, or a building catches fire and all your merchandise goes. And then the other thing is the security. Sometimes you need security. There are so many places where shops have been broken in, or even, people's things have been taken. And then you say, okay, let me go and look for a job. But then when it comes to the job, there are so many requirements. I remember when I was working in the church, we used to do some interviews, and the first thing we'd look for, do you have the papers? Do you have a degree? Then the people who have degrees are so many. So we ask for a master's degree. We try to get, fewer numbers. And then after that, we ask you, what experience do you have? You must have 5 years experience on job. And most people who come out of university, they don't have that experience. Then these days they ask for people who are between 25 to 35 years. So people my age would be, out of business. And then you'll find that you might, you need to be, there's this animal called retrenchment, whereby they reduce the workers because they can no longer pay them, and you can fall a victim. And they'll never ask you whether your children are going to go to school or not. And then the other thing is of retirement. There are so many people out there who have reached their, people who have reached retirement and they are not prepared. Some have not even built themselves houses. Others do not have a plan. So these are some of the limitations which we find. And now I want to show you an opportunity which I saw 27 years ago. and it has really changed our lives. And this is called Neo Life. Neo Life means new life. It's a company which gives people new life because of the products it has. This is a company which has been around for 60 years plus. Actually, right now we are going to 65 years. And when you talk about a company that has been around for such a time, then you know that it is a real strong company, because there are so many companies which come and go. And then it is operating in over 50 countries around the world. In fact, in Africa, it is increasing. And then also we are on a mission to make the world a better, a healthier place to be. And we use this by using the products which work. So this is our mission. Our mission, as I've already said, is to make the world a healthier and a happier place. You know, when you're not healthy, it's very difficult to be happy, even if you have a lot of money. And then the company has values. And these are values which the company has been standing on for the last 64 years, going to 65. Number one is absolute honesty and integrity. The company is going to kick you out the moment you are not, you don't have integrity. You must speak the right thing, and whatever you do it in the right way. And then the other thing, people are number one. This is a people business. And what we do is to make sure that we help other people, and then in return, you may benefit. But if you are not going to work with people, it becomes a big problem. Then we also have a value of products that work. The products this company has had for a long time, they are products which have been tested for so many years, and they have stood the test of time. And then it is an equal opportunity for all. You don't have to have a PhD. Whether you are young or old, nobody is going to ask you for your age. I mean, it is what you need is just a desire to do it. And then it's a long range vision. We focus on what is going to come in future. We don't look at how to get rich just next month or next year. But we are looking at a business which is going to give you income, and the income is carried on for generations. So it can be inherited by your children and grandchildren. Now, what is the problem? If you look at our health, we have a problem of what we eat. The World Health Organization came up with what we call a healthy food pyramid. And this is a pyramid which gives us, if you look at it on the screen, first of all, that we need to put a lot of emphasis on physical activity and weight management. And because of the work most people are doing these days, they don't have enough time to do exercise. And then the other thing we are told is that we must eat a lot of whole grains. But today, this is something which is not happening, because people are removing all the nutrients out of the plants, and then because they want them to stay longer on the shelves. Then you'll find that the fruits and vegetables are eaten in very small portions, but it is recommended that we eat more of these because of their benefits to our health. Then the proteins are supposed to be even fewer, and also the fats and sugars. However, the challenge we have is that we have turned this pyramid upside down. We take a lot of fats and sugars, a lot of proteins. People eat a lot of meat, and it's not only meat, but fatty meat. The fruits and vegetables come on just as a side dish. The whole grains, I think people are just learning, and the physical activity is something which is also very, very rare. So it all starts with our cells. Our cells, we need to make them healthy. And you see, if your cells are healthy, because our bodies have 73 trillion cells. So if they're healthy, it means that the nutrients you eat must enter and the waste products go out. However, the unfortunate thing is that most of us, our cells are very unhealthy because of what we eat. So that means that the nutrients do not enter and the waste products don't go out. And that's why we are always tired. And it's because of the, what we eat. So the solution is that Neolife has a product called 3NN. And 3NN means 3 in 1, which means that it has these brain concentrates which are there to improve your health, to open up the cell membrane so that the nutrients enter and the waste products go out. So if we go back to our food pyramid, what does Neolife have for us in order to help us to improve on our eating habits? The first thing what the company came up with is this 3NN, which has all these whole grains. It has the maize bran. The next thing, because most of us no longer get fruits and vegetables, and actually the fruits and vegetables we get from the market, by the time they reach the table, they are already not, they have lost all their vitamins and minerals. Now, the company came up with a product called carotenoid complex. Carotenoid complex is a tin which contains several different fruits and vegetables. And these ones, they use 115 kilograms of fruits and vegetables to make 90 capsules, which means if you take a capsule, you are like somebody who has consumed 1.25 kilos of fruits and vegetables. And if you take 3 capsules every day in 20 days, your immunity is going to be improved by 37%. So this is a very wonderful product. When you start with 3NN, then you add on carotenoid complex. And then for the protein, the company has a product called Neolife Shake. Now, this is a drink which has all the 22 amino acids. There is no other company which has come up with such a product on the market. Those which have tried have maybe 11, 12, but this one has all the 22 amino acids. And they're very essential, especially when it comes to our hormones and enzymes. People who have allergies, it means that they lack a certain amino acid, which works on those enzymes which operate in the body. And then for the fats and sugars, the company has come up with a product called omega-3 salmon oil. Now, this salmon oil comes from the salmon fish, and it is only found in the cold seas in the northern Arctic. And this one is supposed to help us to replace the fats which we would have got from the wrong foods we eat. But it also helps us to improve the body system. It helps on inflammation and also to improve brain power. So in as much as it is giving you good oils, it is also improving on your body system. So in a way, Neolife has given us these products which are going to help us to improve on our eating habits. And this company came up with what we call a core nutrition program, which has all these products which I have talked about. If you look at that box which is there, it's called a Pro Vitality. In that Pro Vitality, you'll find 30 sachets, and each sachet has 3NN, it has carotenoid complex, it has omega-3 salmon oil, and it has multi-mineral plus vitamins. And these are very essential, especially in our muscles, when we are doing exercises, our nervous system. When you take a sachet of Pro Vitality every day, I can assure you that you will walk away with a better body than somebody who has eaten a plate of food which doesn't have all the food value. Now, this company has come up with several different programs. We cannot talk about all of them, but as for today, I'll tell you about the immune system, because most of us have compromised immunity, but the company came up with these products which help you to improve your immunity: vitamin C, omega-3, zinc, of course, carotenoid, and especially during COVID, many people were using these products and they will tell you that the results were very good. And then there's also a product for a program for the children, because many children always are in hospital, parents are always in hospitals, trying to treat their children, just like the 3 and 9 in adults. And so these Vita Squares are very tasty sweets which children can take, and they help them to open up their cells and they become very healthy. Then they have the Vita Guard, which is just like the carotenoid complex, to improve the immunity. And you'll find that the children, even at school, they do not get the coughs and colds just like other children. Then also they will have the omega-3 and Neolife Shake to help them to build their bodies. Now, we also have another range of products, and these are cleaning products. The most unfortunate thing is that most of us, we go and buy in the market products which are very toxic, and they are very, they spoil the environment. Now, Neolife came up with products which are very user-friendly, they're biodegradable, they're environmentally friendly. Even if a child drinks them, you just tell them to drink water and then they will be okay, because they are not toxic. There are many products on the market where they tell you, keep out of reach of children, but our products are very okay. We have Super 10, a heavy duty cleaner, which cleans a lot of things. In fact, more than 10 things. That's why they call it Super 10, because it can replace 10 cleaning products from the house, because it cleans windows, carpets, chairs, tiles, name it. And then we have another product called Care, which is a super disinfectant. This Care, it kills 99% of household germs. And so everybody in the home, in hospitals, we need this Care. Some of us used it during COVID, and really it worked for us, because we did away with most of the infections around us. Then there's this LDC, or the light duty cleaner. This is a product which is so wonderful that, every home must have it. You use it and it cleans, it cuts fats, it cuts through fats without even needing hot water. And it can do so many things. Cleaning utensils, you can use it in the bathroom, you can use it to bathe your body. I'm telling you, and these products, when you finish using them, you can pour them on your plants and your plants are going to do very well. Then we have this product called G1 Laundry. Now, G1 Laundry, it is a very good product, especially for people who don't want to wash, because you just soak your clothes in and they will come out when they are clean. You just need to rinse 3 times and then you are good to go. So everyone should have this G1. And these products are very economical and user-friendly. Then we have this other product, which is called Super Grow. Now, we know that there's so many farmers on this call, or if you're not a farmer, you might have a friend who is a farmer. And this one has been proved to increase yield by 167%. This study was done in Kenya some years ago. And we've had so many talks from different farmers about this product, Super Grow. And if you want to know more, the person who invited you on this call will tell you more about this product. Then we also have another range, which is called the Nutrients. Many people around the world want to look good. They want to look young. So the company has a set of products which are going to help you to look younger for longer, to look vibrant, and I know most people want to look younger. And then now, what do we need to do? What we need to do is to, first of all, there are some people on this call, some people come because they want money, other people come because they want to become healthier, others want to travel, others want to make friends. So whatever you want, you will get from this opportunity. But the company has come up with this, what we call the 3 daily success habits. For you to succeed in this company, or if you want to do this business and you want to succeed, these are the habits you must form, and it is a must. And the first one is to use the products. You yourself must use the products. I've talked about the health products. I've talked about the cleaning products, the skincare products, the super grow. You yourself use them, because when you use them, you are going to be able to tell other people that they work. Then you have to share your experience, and also there's that element of personal development. So when it comes to using the products, what happens? One, the first thing you must do is to get connected to the company. There are some people who say, I don't want to be part of this, but also I want to be a customer. I want to use the products. But if you want to make some money out of this company, you are going to be connected to the company Neolife through your sponsor. And then when you get connected, you'll be able to buy the products at a discount. So which means that you'll be buying the products at a lower price than the customers. And then you go around and look for some customers. We are talking about 6 customers, but it is open. You can have as many as possible. I know some people who have very many customers. So when you use the products, go out there and share your product experience. Then other people are also going to come and start using the products from you. Then, in fact, what happens is that people come in and they buy either the Vitality or any other products. But what we are looking for is for you to do it, to make sure that people are using the products just as you do. And then at a certain time, when you have those customers, the company is going to give you a profit at the end of each month. And that profit plus your commission will come up to about $50. Now, $50, if you are given that $50 free of charge, I'm sure you'll take it. It comes in as extra money. Then you continue sharing the opportunity. Supposing you share the opportunity with A, B, and C. I would say Mary, John, and Paul. If you share the opportunity with them, what you do is to tell them also to go and talk to other people, get some customers, they are using the products, and at the end of the month, after sharing the opportunity with 3 or more people, then the company is going to give you a profit plus commission, which will range between $100 to $250 US. That's quite some money. I know people would be happy to get that money. And then the company promises and it delivers. What happens is that at the end of this month, this money is going to come to your account, or it will come to your mobile phone, or it's going to be, found in your account in the head office. So this money comes in right on time, and you don't have to do it to go begging for it. The company will deliver. And then the last thing which I talked about is the issue of personal development. This is a company which I know it gives you training, it mentors you, it gives you conventions, you learn a lot from different leaders. They organize leadership schools in different countries and also in your main country. So there is a lot to learn. They teach us how to read books, how to, there's a lot of information which this company gives you, and it will help you to grow as a person. Now, when you reach a certain level, when you reach a level of a director, that is when you share the opportunity with other people and they also share with others, you are going to reach a level of a director. And as a director, you earn not less than $500. That is some money. In fact, we always say that life begins at directorship. And then if you continue sharing the business with other people and those people also you share with continue sharing, you reach a level of a world team member. A world team member is a person who has helped others become directors. And world team members in $1,000. They are not interrupting. There are not so many people who are earning such monies. And when you become a world team member, you become a world team citizen. That is when you start traveling the world. Every year the company organizes a convention. And this year we shall be going to Turkey. Last year we were in Durban, Zimbabwe. And so there are so many benefits. The higher you go, the more benefits you get. And as a world team member, you share the opportunity with other people. You are going to become what we call a president's team member. And as a president's team member, your income is over $3,000. The sky is the limit. Now, when you become a president's team member, that is when you get to travel out of the country 3 times a year, and you get all these other benefits which come in with a company. So there are so many other things which come with it. I know there are people who would like to travel. Let me see. Let me see part of myself. I want to talk about the different travels this company is going to give you. Yes, that is the income for the president's team member, $3,000. Now, I told you about travel. And since I started with this business, when we became world team members, we have traveled to different places. I remember in the year 2008, we went to London and we were celebrating 50 years of existence of this company, Neolife. 2009, we went to San Francisco in California. 2010, we were in Hawaii. And 2011, we went to Mexico, Cabo San Lucas. 2012, we were in Victoria Falls. 2013, Dubai. 2014, Hong Kong. These are all places which we have been to, and the company pays for everything. And there are many more places where we have been, Sun City, and I'm sure if you are going to be part of us, you're going to be traveling with us to all these places. So now, what next? Before we conclude this session, I would like to request to invite somebody who has been, whom I have known for the last 27 years. This is a gentleman whom, when we started the business, that first weekend we were invited, he came with a team which came and talked to us. And since then, we have been working together. He's been our mentor and he has showed us how to do the business. And tonight he's going to share with us his story. And that is none other than Mike van Deventer, all the way from Cape Town. Mike, you are very welcome. Can you please take it on and share with us?
Thank you, Miriam.
Thank you.
I think, can you see me? Otherwise, you'll have to stop your screen share. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, what a wonderful privilege for me to share with you and everybody who's on this call. As Miriam indicated, we know each other for the past 27 years already. And what a privilege for me to know people like Sam and Miriam and so many others that I got to know during my years of being involved in East Africa. To me, that's been such a blessing. I can't begin to explain to you what that did to me, not just in terms of money, but in terms of my whole worldview and my experience of life. Now, excuse me. Okay. Sorry, somebody's talking. If you'll just mute yourself. I wish I knew who of you on this call are guests, people who are looking at the business for the first time. But I don't know, so I'm just guessing there must be some of you who are looking at what Miriam has shown you for the very first time. Now, our very first time was almost 40 years ago. In May, it would be 40 years. That's how long we've been involved in Neolife. That's more than half of my life. I'm 75, but for 40 of those years, we've been in Neolife. And why? Because Neolife has become our life. Now, for me to say that is quite something dramatic, because when I was very small, still not even in school, I realized that I needed to become a minister in our church. And all through schooling, that was my goal and my aim. And after school, I went to university for 7 years. That's how long I had to study to go into ministry. For me, there was never going to be anything else. I never thought of going into anything else. But what happened about 13 years down the road as a minister, I got to a point at that stage. We had 3 of our 4 children. They were all 3 still preschool. And not long after that, the 4th one came. And what happened when we started with a family, we decided that my wife, Renee, would stop teaching to be able to bring up our children. So what happened about 13 years down the road, 1983, I got to a point where I found that my salary, and Miriam was speaking so well about a salary. Now, a salary is better than nothing. But if you're going to rely on a salary alone, I feel sorry for you. I really do. Because there's no security in a salary. There's always a ceiling. You're going to earn that much, depending on how much the boss is willing to pay you. You might even have to work harder for the same amount of money. But money was never an issue for me. That's not why I went into the ministry. But what I found at that time, before Neolife got to us, is that halfway through the month, the money was gone. Now, imagine my children hadn't even started going to school. What would have happened if we kept on that track and the children now had to go to school, and the cost of school fees and so on and so on? I really don't know. What would have happened to us down the line were it not for the fact that Neolife came into our life? And how that happened, we were living in a small city called Grahamstown, and somebody who used to be in ministry there, but at that stage was living 200 kilometers away from Grahamstown, they joined the business. And he thought one day he'd come to Grahamstown and introduce some of the people he knew there to show them the business. And I just thank God that he remembered me, because we hadn't been there that long. I didn't even know that he knew that I was there. And he gave me a call and said he wanted to come and see me. No explanation, no nothing. I said, well, come. I knew him from university. And what he did is he showed me something. I don't even want to call it Neolife, because really I didn't understand anything. He was very new. I don't know what he understood. But I went home that day and I said to my wife, Pitt was here. He showed me a way to make money. And of course, she wanted to know how. And I said to her, I don't know. But because we were in need, because we were open, we had to have something happen to us in terms of extra income. That Saturday, we traveled 200 kilometers in the opposite direction. They showed us the products. They showed us a little bit more, fed us a nice lunch. And still, we were not ready to commit. Now, I hate it these days when people say, we'll think about it. It actually means no. But fortunately, we hadn't gone about 20 kilometers on the way back when we turned to each other and said, well, we can't lose anything by joining. I didn't have to give up my job. Renee could do it part-time. And the little amount that we had to put down to start was so little that I knew the bank would lend me that as well. So we got started. I never thought it would be for me. I never thought it would become my career. At best, it was my thought was that it's for Renee to sell us some Super 10 and LDC and G1. Those were the main products those days, and make us some extra money, which she did. But you know what happened? I started going to big company conventions and training events because I felt attracted to the people. I liked the environment. And you know, the more I saw, the more I understood, not just in terms of how the business works, but also in terms of how good the business is. Not just good for us to make money, but what good the business brings into the world through people like ourselves. And I got more and more attracted, if I may say so. And eventually, after about 3 years or so, it was a difficult decision for me. I got to the point where I said, well, I'm going to resign from the ministry, not from the church, but from the ministry, and work to go full-time in your life. I was then fortunate to get a government job in a city, East London. I think that's where Sam met up with the business and where your other upline, Dr. Eseza and Dr. Eddie Nambasi come from, although they now live in Durban. I think she's on the call as well. And when we moved there, I literally knew nobody in East London. And I started scratching for names and, took names out of the phone book. Those days we still had phone books. And so I got to somebody that was open to look at the business. I showed him the business, and he was an insurance broker. So he said to me, well, this looks good, but he feels he can't do it. It would clash with his business. But what he did is he gave me the name of somebody called Brian Vermeulen. So I phoned Brian and I said, well, so I can't even remember the first person's name. I said, so-and-so referred me to you, showed Brian the business, and he said, yes. Now, he already had a business of his own. He wasn't really going to go full-time. But what happened, he led me to a friend of his for whom I'd already shown the business and said no, Brian Sullivan. And because Brian Vermeulen brought me to Brian Sullivan, he said yes. Now, through Brian Sullivan, downline came Dr. Eddie and Eseza Nambasi, and through them came the Ugandan team, most of the Ugandan team. Now, when I got to Uganda, to Sam and Miriam Kanakulya, that was 13 years after we started in the business. Now, imagine if somewhere in that period we'd given up. Now, we never would have, because I knew this was going to be my future. But imagine if we quit the business and it never got to Brian Vermeulen or Brian Sullivan, it wouldn't have got to Uganda or to Kenya for that matter. So, by the way, I want you to remember two things from what I'm telling you tonight. I'll tell you at the end which those two are. Maybe you pick them up yourself. So when the business came to Uganda, I was still not earning really enough money to support my family. But I just felt, I suppose God prompted me to keep coming to Uganda. And to this day, I think I've been there at least 80 times. These last years, fewer, because I'm not needed there so much anymore, if at all. But in the beginning, I used to come 4, 5, 6 times a year to Uganda and to Kenya. And I did that because somehow I just felt that with the people from Uganda and Kenya, something was going to happen, which in fact did. And so here I am tonight, after 40 years in the business, talking to some of you who haven't even come into the business, or some of you who may just have been in the business a little while. Just to say to you that this business has changed our lives completely. I was able to educate our 4 children to as much as they wanted to, which I never would have been able to do if I was already broke in 1983. And as Miriam indicated, all the traveling, I'm crazy about traveling. Even if I just fly from Cape Town to Johannesburg, it's an event. I like that. By the way, if all goes well, I'll be up in Kenya and Uganda in March again this year. And as Miriam indicated, in May, we are going to Istanbul. And then September, October, we're going somewhere else where we don't know yet. So, you know, we couldn't ever travel when I was a broke pastor. We could never. You know, if I couldn't pay for the food and everything for the whole month, where on earth would we have afforded to travel? Today, I can't tell you how many times I've been overseas. I'm not counting Africa. I think more than 60 times. Now, that's not bragging. That's just to tell you what New Life has done for us. Now, the thing that I learned in this business, and Miriam spoke about that when she spoke about the values of the company, is that, you know, I certainly had to change my mindset as we progressed in the business. When we started, it was all about us. We needed money. Whatever we did was money for us. In the process, I know I hurt a number of people, but I won't go into that. We had a short-term benefit from them and nothing more, not for them, not for us. And what I learned is that this business is all about people. You know, you can't be successful in any business unless you have enough of the right people. If you're in a normal business, you've got to have staff, you've got to have suppliers, you have to have customers. And if the numbers don't work out in any of those areas, you have a problem. Now, our business, we also need people. But this is where the mindset change comes in. We've got to start thinking now, not about we needing people. We've got to start looking at people around us and realize they need us. You see, nowhere in the world can people find the products that we can get through Neolife. Nowhere. There could be things that are sort of similar, but there's no other nutritional product that can promise people based on scientific research that you could boost your immune system by 37% in just 20 days. No other product. There's nothing like 3NN. So health-wise, people need what we have. In your own country, there's Moses Nwabini, who was dying of AIDS. The doctors gave him 2-3 months to finalize his things because he was going to die. And then somebody introduced him to carotenoids and 3NN, just those two. And what I later heard from him, he was taking only even just one of each a day. Within the first month, for the first time, if I have the story correctly, Moses' CD4 count started going up. That's many years ago. I don't know how many, 15 more, I don't know. These days, the doctors can't even detect the AIDS virus in him anymore. So you see, Moses would have been dead were it not for our products. So you must think in terms of how we can help people. Same with a business opportunity. Even if you haven't understood much of what Miriam showed you, that's normal. Very few people grasp it the first time. But our business is built on helping other people make money. The more people you can help make money, and the more money they make, the more you will make. Why? Because the money is earned on products moving to end consumers. We only get paid for selling products. Now, we sell products personally, but if that was all you were ever going to do, it would always be limited. But what we do is we introduce the business to people, we introduce the business to people, we introduce the business to people, and in that way, build a network of distributors. Now, that's not a strange idea. Any franchise works on that principle. I often use KFC as an example, not that I recommend their products, not healthy, but Colonel Sanders started with his chicken because the recipe was good, people liked the product, and he had a little shop next to a filling station. And when he saw that the products were moving, he started selling the concept, the business idea, the recipe, if I may say so, to people. And today, wherever you go in the world, you find KFC. You know, the upshot of that was that Colonel Sanders, who started with KFC when he was 65, by the time he died, he was a billionaire in US dollars. Why? Not because he sold trillions of chicken pieces himself, but through his network, trillions and trillions and trillions of pieces of chicken were sold. And that's the same thing, the same principle we use. Now, the beauty of network marketing, which is what we call what we do, is that you don't have the capital outlay of a franchise. You're not in one locality. You don't have staff. You don't have the overheads that Miriam was speaking about, because all of that is handled by Neolife. They do the product research and development, the shipping, the warehousing, even the delivery of the products on our behalf if we choose to. They've got the IT systems that support us in managing our networks and our businesses. So it is such an easy way, excuse me, to get into business. Because of somebody like me who was a poor church mouse with, I knew something about theology and philosophy and so on, but I knew nothing about business. If I could become successful, anyone can, because I had no business experience. In fact, I was skeptical about business. But the fact is that the infrastructure that is there for us to help build our businesses makes that we just have to do the simple things Miriam spoke about. Use the products, tell other people about the products, tell people about the business opportunity, and then realize or accept the fact that not everybody is going to say yes. That's not a reflection on the products. That's not a reflection on the company or the business. That is just a reflection on their personal choice that they make for whatever reason. I've had many, 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 many people say no to me. But that's their problem. That's their loss. So our big focus is to reach out to people to help them improve their lives. Better health, better wealth. So the point is that we cannot be successful without other people. And we cannot be successful if those people don't become successful. See, you could develop a network of 1,000 people or more. If they each do nothing and make no money, it will all have been wasted effort. But if those 1,000 people, a lot of them making good money, it all comes back to you, because as the volumes of products moving to end consumers increase, so the bonuses Neolife pay us increase. So I said there are two things that I hope you'll take away from this evening. And I'm going to just underline them so that you're sure you've got them. The first thing is, and Miriam also indicated that when she spoke about the values, is don't be greedy and think you must or you can or you should make a lot of money overnight. It doesn't work like that. It's a business that you build up, just like you build a house. If you build a house, it's one brick at a time, another brick, another brick, another brick, another brick. And the bigger the structure has got to be in the end, the longer it's going to take you. So while we've got to hassle and work and keep talking to people, attend training, work on our personal development, while we do that, we also have to be patient, because sometimes the results don't come as we wish them to happen. But that's not a problem. If we keep on keeping on, somewhere we are going to find the right people. So the first point I want to make very clearly, a big mistake people make when they join network marketing is they expect too much too soon. They expect too much too soon, but not enough in the long term. It takes time to develop a base and for that base to grow. As I've indicated to you, it took me 13 years to get to the business that I have in Uganda and Kenya today, which is a large part of my business. You never know what can happen 5 years and 10 years from now. The problem many people create for themselves is long before that, they're gone. So remember, don't expect too much too soon, and in the process, too little in the long term. Just work, work, work. If you do well in the short term, wonderful. If it takes you longer than that, like it did for me, also wonderful. You see, they say the view from the top of the mountain is the same. Whether it takes you a long time to get there or not, you still have the benefits. And the second point that I want you to take with you is that if we do not have the right approach to people, in other words, if we just think of me and what people can do for me, we are going to have an uphill road all the time. Change your mind to what can we do, what can I do for other people? Some of the people who've been in the business a while on the call will remember that I always quote a guy called Zig Ziglar, who said, if you help enough other people have what they want, you can have everything you want. If you help enough other people get what they want, you can have everything you want. And that is so applicable or true. That's the essence of network marketing. Help people succeed. And that means that you don't just sponsor and bring people in and then hope that they will succeed. Once you bring people into the business, with the help of your upline, if you're still new, you've got to guide them and support them and mentor them. It's just like a little plant. A little plant is at its most vulnerable when it's small. Once its roots have gone down and it's become stronger, that plant's chance of survival is just so much better. So it's not just a question of selling some products and getting some people to look at the business and then sit back and wait for things to happen. Now your uplines, those of you who are new, they will guide you in this. And I just want to end off by saying I am so blessed and privileged to be associated with you and call you my family. I'm your Jaja, your great-great-grandfather in the business. And I so look forward to hopefully seeing many of you in person if God spares us to be together in March. And thank you to your leadership and also the people who invited you onto this call this evening if you're there for the first time. Thank them. They did you a favor that you don't even realize. So from my side, Miriam, thank you for this opportunity. I really value that and thank you for asking me to come along. So I say good night and God bless to all of you.
Thank you very much, Mike. I have known Mike and he has told us all those words for a long time. And that is why we have been able to develop such a big team. And for those of you who are seeing Mike for the very first time, this is what we learned from him. So as we end our presentation, I just want to tell you what you are going to do. The first thing you need is a dream. You must have a dream of what you want to be, where you want to go, and what you want to have. That is what is going to drive you to do this business. And here is the opportunity. We have talked about the opportunity which is just in front of you. Mike has told you he has been in this business for the last 40 years. He could have said no. He wouldn't have been here with us. But it's an opportunity which you can take up. And then the other thing we do in this business is to work. And the work we do is talk. We talk to people on a daily basis. Share the opportunity, share the products. You continue talking and talking. And then the next thing which you have to do is to take massive action. You see, it is one thing listening to such a presentation and to listening to a story like Mike's, but then it is another thing to take action. And what do we mean by taking action? Just go to that person who invited you and tell them, I want to start this multi-million business. It does not matter where you are. It does not matter what you do. I think you can see this lady Zaitun sharing an opportunity to somebody who is in a shop selling handbags, and she started the business there and then. So if you are on this call today and you're a guest, talk to that person who invited you. There are a lot of things which we have not told you, which they are going to tell you. And I'm sure that once you start, you'll be able to achieve your dreams, which you set out to achieve. So thank you very much, everybody who has been on this call. Thank you very much, Mike, for that sharing, those words of wisdom. And I'm sure that everybody who has heard from you is ready to go with what you have said. So I wish you a very good evening, and I wish you the best in whatever you do. May God bless you as you start along the journey of success.